Thank you. Councilwoman Pellegrin, I'd like to call to order the special meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for March 23rd, 2023, to order at 4 o'clock p.m. On roll call, we have Council members Dennis. Here. Golombek, absent. Fasolo.
Here.
Pellegrin.
Here.
Sheridan.
Here.
Council President Ballesteri.
Here.
Mayor Coletti, absent. We have a quorum.
Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of every meeting a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting have been met by publishing a special meeting notice in the Record and the Herald News, by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted and transmitted on March 17, 2023, and published on March 21, 2023.
Okay, at this time, we're going to have a presentation by our CFO, Roy Ricatano, and our Borough Auditor, Steve Wilcox.
Good afternoon, everyone. So what we're doing today is, under the law, we're required to introduce the budget with very little, if any, input from the audience. This is basically introduction, in which time we'll ask for a roll call on intro. Everyone now knows you all got the budget. After we get this approved today, we will then upload into the website by tomorrow with the user-friendly budget as well. We'll then expedite the documents onto the FAST system, and we'll be awaiting the Division of Local Government Services to review the budget, in which time if there's any edits, anything that has to be done, we'll have that completed by the time we get to the actual hearing, which will be on, which date do we have for the hearing again?
April 20th.
On April 20th, that will be the time that the public has any and all say on the budget. At that time, hopefully, we will have an approval and adoption and move forward with the Division of Taxation, and we can start preparing for our tax bills at that time. I can tell you with the auditor, and everyone here, it's quite a feat to come in at zero, and that's what we're planning on doing at this time. Our borough auditor, if he's got any comments, now would be the time. Steve, anything?
Gee, thanks, Roy.
All right.
As Roy said, this is the second year in a row that we were able to accomplish no tax increase for the residents of Elmwood Park. A feat unto itself, considering all the increased costs that everybody's facing with health insurance and the state pension and workers' comp and liability insurance. So you should whichever hand is longer, you should pat yourselves on the back for being able to deliver a zero for the second year in a row, and with the help of some federal money.
Great. Thank you, Steve. I guess, Sinead, take it from here.
We have any council people have questions for either Roy or Steve? I have one question.
Sure.
How much federal money? Just so the public can hear it.
It is $1,045,000 in round numbers, and that's the same amount we used last year. This is the second tranche of the American Rescue Plan money.
Right. Can you speak into the microphone, just so the people at home can hear? Yeah.
I'm on TV?
Yes.
Wow. It's approximately $1,045,000, which is the same amount we used last year from the first tranche. Mm-hmm. This is the second tranche. So we've been able to use the federal help to offset a lot of the costs that have just gone, mildly crazy over the last 12 months.
We just wanted the public to know, the residents to know why we can still come in at a zero tax increase. And that's very important. Sure. That they hear the figure, and it's the second year in a row that we were able to do that. So I thank you both for all your hard work as usual.
Thank you.
true professionals for our borough. Does anybody else have any comments or questions?
I just want to thank the finance team for all their work. Coming in at zero definitely was a combination of the federal money, but it also was our welcoming of new businesses, our welcoming of redevelopment, and all the things that we've, as a council, have been doing for the town. So I just want to commend everybody up here and also the finance team.
Before we proceed, I'd just let the record reflect that Councilman Golubek is now here. Moving on to the budget introduction, we have Resolution R-161-23, introduced ordinance number 23-14 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled Calendar Year 2023 Ordinance to Exceed the Municipal Budget Appropriation Limits and to Establish a Cap Bank NJSA 48:4-45.14 be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, April 20th, 2023, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it resolved that the Borough Clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So move.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Oh, I need a second.
Oh, second? Tanisha, okay. Any discussion? Roll call?
First by Fasolo, second by Dennis, and roll call. We have council members Dennis. Yes. Fasolo.
Yes.
Golubek. Yes. Pellegrin.
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Council President Ballasteri.
yes,
Motion carries. Now we have Resolution R-162-23, introduction of the 2023 municipal budget. Be it resolved that the following statements of revenues and appropriations shall constitute the municipal budget for the year 2023, and be it further resolved that said budget be published in the Record and Herald News in the issue of March 30th, 2023, and be it further resolved that the governing body of the Borough of Elmwood Park does hereby approve the following as the budget for year 2023.
Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Thank
Second?
you.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, roll call?
First by Fasolo, second by Sheridan. Our roll call, we have council members Dennis. Yes. Fasolo.
Yes.
Golubek. Yes. Pellegrin.
Yes.
Sheridan.
yes,
Council President Ballasteri.
yes,
Notice is hereby given that the budget and tax resolution was approved by the council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, on March 23rd, 2023. A hearing on the budget and tax resolution will be held at the municipal building on April 20th, 2023, at 7:00 p.m., at which time and place objections to the budget and tax resolution for the year 2023 may be presented by taxpayers or other interested persons. Copies of the budget are available in the office of Shanae Morris, Acting Borough Clerk, at the Municipal Building, 182 Market Street, Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Phone number 201-796-1457 during the hours of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now we have Resolution R-163-23, and through you, Councilwoman Pellegrin, I will read this by title only. Governing body certification of compliance with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records and the employment decisions under the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Discussion? Roll call?
First by Fasolo, second by Sheridan. On roll call, we have council members Dennis. Yes. Fasolo.
Yes.
Golubek. Yes. Pellegrin.
Yes.
Sheridan.
yes,
Council President Ballasteri.
yes,
Motion carries. Now moving on to standalone resolutions. We have one resolution, R-164-23. Through you, Councilwoman Pellegrin, I will read this by title only. Award of bid, Orchard Street Drainage.
Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Any discussion? Roll call?
First by Fasolo, second by Sheridan. On roll call, we have council members Dennis. Yes. Fasolo.
Yes.
Golubek. Yes. Pellegrin.
Yes.
Sheridan.
yes,
Council President Ballasteri.
yes,
Motion carries.
Okay. We're going into public hearing now?
Yes.
Okay. Motion to open to public comments, please?
So move.
Okay. If anyone from the public wishes to make any comments, please come up to the podium and give your name and address.
Good afternoon. Jeffrey Pratt, 35 Elm Drive. Now, you met on the 16th, as I recall.
Yes, public meeting.
Was there any reason why this meeting wasn't announced at that time?
Our CFO could not make it that evening, so we had a special meeting so that we can still take care of this in the proper amount of time on April 20th.
Okay, the 31st is actually the deadline for submitting it.
I don't know if anybody wants to answer that, Roy?
For the,
Roy will adjust that.
Yeah, it was easier and it was most effective for the borough to do this today so that if there is a hangup with any of the systems, whether it be software, we can address it before the 31st. By going after the 31st, you run the risk of not getting all of your state aid when we do the governor's checklist back in September, October, coming up.
okay, I'm not, today's the 23rd, it's 8 days from now. It could have been done anytime in between there.
It could have been, but I think it's more prudent to do it today.
For the public,
Sooner better. Public doesn't have say on the budget until we do the hearing on the 20th.
the public has a say on anything you do. And
Not with the budget, sir.
not, okay. The budget's the budget.
On April 20th, you'll be able to ask, the public will be able to address any questions on the budget at all, and they will be answered
I am,
in full.
so I can't ask any questions.
Not today. Steve?
I mean, it's up, you certainly can entertain you certainly can entertain a question if you so desire, but the system is set up that if the budget's introduced, it's then public information now that you voted on it. It'll be advertised, there'll be a public hearing on the 20th of April, which
That's when the
in the
questions.
statute, 28 days from introduction before you can have the public hearing, so that the public has sufficient time to get copies of the documents, do whatever review they wish, and come to the hearing meeting with whatever their questions are. If the gentleman has a specific question now, we're here, that's fine.
Okay, my question is this. It's been told today that the budget itself went up about close to 5%. So the money, I guess, that the revenues that will be offsetting that will be most of the money that has occurred due to COVID or whatever you want to call it, the special funds. So in reality, patting with the longest arm on the back, the budget's still gone up quite a lot. And some of the things I see, and it's not complete. There's no amount for the number of employees. There's other things that I don't know if they're normally on this budget, but they're not here. And wages, exactly the same.
Actually, salaries are down $172,000 from 22 to 23 budgeted amounts.
Well, I'm just going by what I see here. It says for exactly the same.
I'm not sure what you're looking at.
I'm looking at operating expenses, salaries and wages, $497,000, 2023 and 2022.
$497,000. That's the water utility. That's the water utility.
What's that?
That's the water utility.
I'm sorry?
The water utility salaries, they're the same as last year.
Okay. Anyway, does all the money that we're going to see in the increase in this budget, is it coming from that federal dollars, or is it going to come from the water account maybe, or whatever it may be, surplus, whatever?
There's surplus in the budget. The town has been very frugal the last number of years. We've accumulated a substantial amount of surplus over the years, and we continue to put it back in the budget the following year, so that, again, it's all about tax relief. It's all about the taxpayers. So yes, there are some significant increases in expenditures or appropriations, and they're things like Passaic Valley Sewer, state pension, health benefits, workers' comp and liability insurance, statutory amount due to the library. These are things that no council can control, and these are things that every single municipality, I would venture to say, not only New Jersey, but all across the country, are seeing increases in. And I will tell you that I have other municipal clients where they're fighting with $200 and $300 per household tax increases because of these increased costs. Here, because we've been frugal for, I can't count how many years back, we're able to utilize additional surplus funds, the federal money. We've been very successful over the last year and a half or 2 years in construction fees because you've got redevelopment going on in town. So it's a combination of a number of revenue sources that are helping offset the additional costs. If not for the ability in having those revenues, there'd be a tax increase. But again, this is 2 years in a row where there's no tax increase to the taxpayers, to the homeowners in this town, which is slightly incredible.
And using that over $1 million that you said before, that surely helped with that.
It's all part of the equation.
Okay.
The other thing is this, Councilman Solo had remarked about redevelopment bringing money in. As far as current taxation goes, has that brought any money in?
You want to answer that, Roy?
Yeah. So the assessed valuation was approximately $22 million increase with some of the projects that are going online. And there's others that will be coming online this year as well. I also want to remind everyone, since we are on tape and television, that it was because of the administration of just 2 years ago that we were very fortunate to pay for some of the capital improvements in the water utility without issuing any debt. By not having that debt, that money is lying for homeowners to get some of this relief. And that's what we decided to do. You decided to do this year with inflation the way it is, with the way the banking institutions are today. This is nothing more than a grand slam for the taxpayers of Elmwood Park to come in at zero. Is just remarkable, as my boss, if you will, our auditor told us as well.
And I don't know of any redevelopment that's come online.
I think I think it really depends on what you consider redevelopment, right? So Riverwalk, that complex, did it go through the redevelopment housing law process? No. Is it redevelopment? Yeah, it was totally vacant land. So in that sense, and I don't want to speak for Councilman Fasolo, but projects like that are coming to coming to life and are coming onto the books as ratables, that is an absolutely true statement.
I understand, but I understand also that that is not redevelopment. And there will,
It depends on your perspective of a project like that.
perspective is used the correct ones.
What's that?
Redevelopment was thrown out, I don't know why it was thrown out there, but it's not redevelopment.
So redevelopment is only if it goes through the redevelopment law of the state of New Jersey, in your eyes, right?
That's what they call it. Was that called redevelopment? I'm not going to argue with that.
No, I'm just saying, like, if someone came in and bought a nice swath of property and then went to the zoning board and got approvals for it, I would call that too redevelopment if it took care of something that was vacant or blighted or whatever, not as interesting, you know? I get your point, Jeff. Yes, the Mr. Freitag, the projects that are in the redevelopment process, we have not felt the tax impact of that. However, on the flip side, as we analyze this entire financial picture, knowing that we are in the process of approving certain things and certain dollars will be coming in, gives us certain confidences to do what we're doing. That's a fair statement.
I also remember that last year, I believe in the preliminary with the first, there was actually a tax increase, as I recall.
In the,
Then it got
okay,
down to zero.
okay, I mean,
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else wish to be heard from the public? Okay, at this time, I'd like to close the portion of the public meeting, and I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. Thank you again, Roy and Steve, for your great presentation to us, and everyone have a good night. Thank you.